Good morning, children. How are you? I hope you all are fine and healthy as you stay at home. These days, learning is going through virtual classes because actual classes are not possible. So, it is a good source, no matter, even if we are not directly connected to each other, we can continue our learning because learning has no ends. So, without wasting any time, let's start our geography first chapter, the Earth and the Solar System. It's a very good chapter which will tell you about so many things about space, universe, your solar system, its family. So, it's quite fascinating. Let's start. Before beginning our chapter, I would like to tell you the meaning of geography. Children, geo stands for earth and graphy stands for writing. So geography means writing about the earth. Any written text which tell us about earth is geography. Clear? So now let's start our chapter. Its title, the earth and the solar system. Children, we derived the word solar from the very word sol, which means sun god. Hence, all the words that tell us about solar system are related to sun and its family. So, in this chapter, we are going to study the major elements of solar system and earth in particular. Okay, I mean to say we are going to study about the family of solar system and earth. Okay, so what do you know about earth, children? Earth is our planet. Earth is the planet where we live. It is the only planet which has life possibility on it. So that's why it is known as a unique planet, because life is possible on this planet. And I'm speaking a word planet. What do you mean by planet? Planet means wanderer. A body which keeps revolving around the sun in a fixed orbit is called planet. So Earth is a planet. It is a very small part of solar system, a very minute part of solar system. This is our solar system. You can see sun at the center. At the center means it is the head of the family, and it has so many planets which revolves around it in a fixed orbit, in an elliptical orbit. Okay, and Earth is the third planet from the sun. This is universe. Universe is made up of many solar systems, numerous galaxies, and billions of stars and planets, and all those things. This is Milky Way galaxy. We live in Milky Way galaxy. Our solar system is in Milky Way galaxy. We also call it Akash Ganga. It is a spiral shaped galaxy and it contains numberless stars, millions and billions of stars. You can see the position of Earth in solar system, children. See, this is Earth. It is in solar system. Solar system is in Milky Way, and like Milky Way there are other numerous galaxies. Milky Way is a galaxy. Galaxy is what? Galaxy is made up of millions of stars. So there are very other galaxies like Milky Way galaxy, and the cluster of these galaxies is known as cluster, and the several clusters make supercluster. Okay, this is how universe is formed. Universe is made up of all these things, and these things like planets, stars, and galaxies, we call them celestial bodies. Now let's see what is celestial body. The sun, the planets, the moon, the stars, and all those objects shining in the sky are called celestial bodies. Okay, celestial bodies, or you can also call it heavenly bodies, which are found in heaven. In heaven, we call heaven in Hindi swarg. So, like this is a celestial body, heavenly body. Okay. So from here your chapter starts. Now let's continue with the chapter. Before it, we have done only the introductory part of the chapter. I told you in brief what is universe, what is earth, what is solar system, star. Now let's begin our chapter thoroughly. Okay, I'm beginning. Please listen to me carefully, children. The word universe comes from a Latin phrase turning as one, means which is changing, which is in turning position, which is in changing process. All that physically exists, that is matter, energy and space, is the universe. So universe is made up of matter, energy and space. Universe is infinite in volume and size. We cannot measure universe. It is infinite. It is immeasurable in size and in volume. It has numberless stars, several stars, and the group of stars are called constellation. In constellation, children, we can see a fixed pattern of stars. Have you seen Saptarishi? It is a very quite commonly known constellation. It is a group of 7 stars and it has a certain design. You can easily watch it in the night sky. If you haven't seen it so far, try it tonight. You can easily watch it. Okay, so millions of stars form a galaxy, and when several thousand galaxies come together, they form a cluster, and several cluster of galaxies form a supercluster. Means when several when many galaxies come together, they form a cluster, and when many clusters of galaxies come together, they form a supercluster, and all these make up the universe. Our solar system is located in the Milky Way galaxy. As I told you earlier, I have shown you the picture of Milky Way also. It is spiral shaped galaxy. It is called as Akash Ganga. It has numerous stars. It has 200 billion stars approximately. It is a spiral shaped galaxy. It has a bar shaped core. At the center, it looks like a bar. It is surrounded by a disk of gas, dust and stars. Means it is surrounded by clouds of gases, dust, particles and stars. Now you must be thinking about, children, how this universe was formed, how it came into existence. Children, this is a famous Big Bang theory which tells us about the formation of universe. This theory is basically based on the observation that universe is expanding. It is still expanding, means increasing in size. It is believed that some 13 to 15 billion years ago the universe was small. It was like a small point. It had, at that time, it had no matter, no space, no energy. Sorry, it had energy, but it had no time, no matter, no space. Of course it had energy, because that time also it was very hot. It was quite hot, extremely. So it had energy, but it was very small in comparison to today's universe. As today it is so big, we cannot measure it, we cannot estimate, we can't imagine. Okay, so it is believed that some 13 to 15 billion years ago the universe was small, hot and full of energy due to a sudden explosion. Explosion means something blew up, something burst. There was what happened then? Then formed a giant cloud of gases and tiny dust particles. And those giant cloud of gases gave birth to nebula. Okay, nebula. Nebula means which is like a nebula where stars took birth. Stars took place from nebula only. Stars came out of giant cloud of gases. Okay, and all these giant cloud of gases and dust particles and stars, they got scattered and they started rotating and revolving around each other due to gravitational force. What is revolution and rotation? Revolution means, I think you must have learnt it in your previous classes. Revolution, all the planets revolve around the sun in the same direction in elliptical orbit. That is revolution. Elliptical orbit means the orbit which is not completely round. It is oval shaped. Its like sides. Its sides are quite squeezed, and it is not completely center, not completely round. It is oval shaped. That is revolution, elliptical orbit movement. And rotation, all planets rotate on its own axis also. That is rotation part. Okay, so now we are starting with the solar system. As I told you, solar system is made up of numerous of stars and sun. Sun is also a star. It has planets, it has satellites, asteroids, meteoroids. But sun is the head of the family because it is the biggest star, it is the brightest star, it is at the center of the solar system. So solar system, we call it is the sun's family. The sun is at the center, and 8 planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. They all planets revolve around it in a fixed orbit, in an elliptical orbit. And these planets are accompanied by their satellites and other celestial bodies. So let's first discuss sun. Sun is a star, like other star. Sun is the star, but it is the brightest star and the star which is closer to the earth than other stars, quite closer. It is spherical in shape, means it is quite round like a ball, and it is a luminous body. It has its own light, it shines, it is bright. It is a main source of light and energy to the earth. So sun is the main source of light and energy to the earth. Sun is made up of hydrogen and helium. The gases which are mainly found in sun are hydrogen and helium. Its diameter, its size is about 109 times bigger than that of the earth, and the temperature at the surface of the sun is about 6000 degrees Celsius, whereas at the center it is extremely hot, which is 15 million degrees Celsius. The light from the sun travels through earth in about 8 minutes and 20 seconds. You know, children, the speed of light is so high. Still, the light takes 8 minutes 20 seconds in reaching to earth. And the distance of earth from the sun is 150 million kilometer. Sun is 150 million kilometer away from the earth. The gravitational pull of the sun keeps all the planets and rest of the bodies of the solar system intact. Means sun has a strong gravitational force, because of which all planets, satellites, meteoroids, asteroids, comets, they keep rotating around the sun in solar system in a fixed orbit. It is clear to you? Now let's discuss next part, the stars. Children, stars are born in nebula. We have seen what is nebula. We have learned nebula is a giant cloud of gases out of which stars took birth. Nebula is giant cloud of gases and tiny dust particles. So we know stars are born in nebula. A nebula is a great cloud of dust and gas. Mostly there is hydrogen gas in nebula, and due to gravity, the nebula becomes a dense and spinning cloud. Like Sun, the gravitational force of nebula is also too high, because of which its density is quite high, and that's why it becomes quite dense. Dense means which cannot be seen through, which cannot be passed through, and it is a spinning cloud. It is a cloud of gases. It's a spinning cloud. It's rotating very rapidly. It's rotating with a good speed, great speed. The collision of hydrogen atoms keeps to formation of a core star. And we know that in nebula also there is hydrogen gas. Like Sun is also made up of hydrogen gas, but in Sun there is hydrogen and helium. Nebula, it's mainly hydrogen. And due to collision of hydrogen atoms, collision means when they strike each other, when they hit each other, when there takes place the collision, then they give birth to core star. Core star means the star at the center of nebula. The star at the center of nebula, it is a small star. What happens? Let's see. After shining for years, after shining for a long time, nebula begins to burn out. And then what happens? Then the star begins to contract in size, begins to get smaller in size. And after that, when it gets very small in size, it explodes. It bursts, it blows up. And then what happens? Then comes out supernova, a very small star which is also known as black hole. Black hole from which no light can pass. A black hole is a region of space from where nothing can escape, nothing can go through, nothing can pass through, not even light. It is completely dark space. That is black hole. And Sun is just one of the member of this star family. Why Sun looks so bright? It is clearly visible from the earth because it is closer to the earth and so bright that all stars become visible in the morning. Become invisible in the morning. Have you ever observed, children? Suppose if you switch off the lights and you light a candle in the room, you can easily watch the light of the candle. And the moment you switch on the light, then can you see the candle of the light? Can you see the light of the candle similarly? No. Due to the high light of that tube light, you won't be able to see the light of the candle. Same thing happens during the day. Stars are there in the sky all the time, whether it is day or night, but during day they are not visible because they are far away from the earth in comparison to Sun. Sun is closer to earth. Sun is the biggest star and it is very bright. In its brightness, other stars get invisible. They become invisible. Okay, we cannot see them. They are there, but they are always there in the sky. Just we cannot see them due to the presence of Sun during the day. The brightest, now we are talking about North Star, which is also called as Dhruv Tara. And this North Star is found in the it is also called as pole star. It is found in the north direction. It appears to remain stable every time, and it is almost directly above the North Pole in north direction, and it really helps people to find out the direction as it is always in north direction. Children, in the past time when people didn't have maps and like globes and charts and all those things to find out direction, that time North Star was a major indicator for them to find out the directions. They could have observed like this is north direction, as the North Star is there, so where can be south direction, where can be east and where can be west. North Star worked as a major indicator of time in the past time. So now we have discussed this also, that a group of stars is called constellation, group of stars where there are numerous stars, as Saptarishi. It is a group of 7 stars, it has a fixed design. So there are many constellations, there are many group of stars. The stars in the constellation are formed by imaginary lines to form different shapes. Means the lines are imaginary, they are not actual lines, we can imagine them only. Like if we draw a line like this, then its shapes will come out in this way. So these are imaginary lines. One such constellation is Ursa Major, or we call it Great Bear also, which can easily be seen in the northern sky. I think the chapter discussed here in this video would be clear to you, and the rest of the part of the chapter will be discussed in the next video. You read the chapter carefully, listen to the video. I hope it would help you a lot. Thank you.